Welcome back, Guardians. Today we're going over our first PvP build for the Warlock class using the Trinity Ghoul exotic bow and the Getaway Artist exotic gauntlets. I've been toying around with this loadout for a little while, and not only is it super fun, but it's incredibly potent as well. So without further ado, I present to you Getaway Ghoul. Alright, so let's start by taking a look at the cornerstone of this build, the Trinity Ghoul exotic bow. There are a few unique things about this bow. It fires 3 arrows per shot instead of just 1, and the spread of these arrows can be adjusted depending on how much you draw your bow. Each arrow from a perfectly drawn shot will do 52 damage to the head for a total damage of 156. An imperfectly drawn shot will drop that damage just down slightly to 147. This weapon's exotic perk, Lightning Rod, chains lightning from each arrow to any opponents within a 7-meter radius, and each arrow does approximately 51 lightning damage. This means that simply shooting within the general area of your opponent will deal 153 damage to them if you have Lightning Rod active. This perk is normally activated by landing precision kills, but the Trinity Ghoul exotic catalyst allows this perk to activate on any Ark kill. It's this catalyst that makes this build work so well. We start to gain a lot of synergy with the Trinity Ghoul exotic catalyst when we pair it up with the Getaway Artist exotic gauntlets. These let you consume your grenade to give you a supercharged version of the Ark Soul that lasts a full 20 seconds. When this Ark Soul is active, it fires a burst of 5 shots every few seconds. Each shot does a total of 11 damage each, for a total of 55 damage in each burst. This means that if you land a headshot with all 3 arrows from Trinity Ghoul, or if you chain lightning to your target with all 3 arrows, your Ark Soul is capable of finishing off that opponent. What's even more excellent is that this Ark Soul fires arc projectiles, and is therefore capable of proccing Trinity Ghoul's Lightning Rod perk. With these two exotics in mind, the goal then becomes to generate as much grenade energy as possible for frequent Ark Souls. Obviously, you want to get as close to max discipline as possible, so use as many discipline mods as necessary to achieve this. There are also a couple of armor mods such as Bomber and Impact Induction that can help generate additional grenade energy. It's also quite helpful to find a short-range primary weapon with the Demolitionist perk. I've personally been using the Breachlight sidearm as it is very easily farmable from Umbral engrams. In addition to having Demolitionist, mine also has Vorpal weapon for taking out Guardians in their super, since Trinity Ghoul by itself isn't very good at fighting supers. With all these grenade generating perks active, I typically have about 50 to 100% of my grenade energy back by the time my Ark Soul runs out. As far as choosing your subclass tree, all Stormcaller trees will work, but I personally choose to use the middle tree for 2 reasons. First, its Ionic Traces perk helps me to gain extra ability energy in the form of those little white things that sometimes spawn when I get a kill. And second, it has a ranged melee ability, which I find to be quite helpful since this build is designed to perform well in the mid-range. The final touch I put onto this build isn't quite necessary, but it's very nice to have. Charged with light mods, while highly underrated in PvP, can turn you into an absolute monster with this build. The High Energy Fire mod gives you an extra 20% weapon damage whenever you are charged with light, which typically results in a near one-shot or a one-shot kill with Trinity Ghoul, and your Ark Soul will very consistently finish off those enemies that don't get killed in one shot. In order to become charged with light as frequently as possible, I have also equipped the Taking Charge mod, which grants you the Charged with Light buff whenever you pick up an Orb of Light. And I have also equipped the Precision Charge mod, which activates Charged with Light on bow multi-kills. Of course, with the Trinity Ghoul's lightning chaining capabilities, this happens quite frequently. Like I mentioned earlier, this loadout is highly effective in PvP. It's not terribly difficult to activate Trinity Ghoul's Lightning Rod perk, and when you do, it's almost difficult to avoid getting multi-kills. There are a couple of things to watch out for though when using this loadout. First, Ark Soul projectiles have significant travel time, and they sometimes struggle with accuracy. Don't put your full trust in them to finish off a quickly moving opponent. Another thing that you want to be quite prepared for is close range encounters. Don't hesitate to pull out your close range primary weapon when necessary. Trinity Ghoul is a lot of fun, but without its Lightning Rod perk active, it's kinda crap at short range. Finally, because Trinity Ghoul fires 3 arrows at once, sometimes an arrow might miss at long range, resulting in only 2/3 of your expected damage output. Just be prepared for this and keep cover close by. Well, Guardians, I hope you found this video helpful. I personally enjoyed making this first build, so if you have any suggestions for future builds, please let me know in the comments below. As always, stay safe, and I hope to see you in the Crucible.